After being absent at the West New York press conference discussing the future of public transportation in the wake of a fatality on Tuesday, one Hudson County resident asked Union City Mayor Brian Stack his feelings on the matter at Wednesday's commissioner meeting. Stack indicated that he couldn't make the event due to prior commitments he couldn't break. He also gave those in attendance an in-depth summary of his involvement with public transportation regulations in Union City, stressing safety regulations.
Your constituency is the people of Union City. And when there's a problem between the people of Union City and private interests, you have to stand up for the people of Union City and the people in general. These bus drivers, I see them, they're eating on the bus. Well, and I do see them because I don't ride the bus. They're eating on the bus, they're on the cell phone on the bus. They're not properly supervised. Their equipment is substandard. The buses are substandard. It's time to put a stop to this two-system bus service in this area. You don't have this in places like Mahwah and Ridgewood because the people in those towns wouldn't accept it. We're entitled to the same kind of service. We're entitled to the same kind of safety as these people. So I hope now, in light of what's happened, as I've been telling you, I got quiet on the subject because nothing was happening. But in light of what's happened, I hope you're going to change your priorities. There's no question that improvements, this is not the issue with them. The two-system bus service has to be eliminated. This area is entitled to the same service from New Jersey Transit as any other community that is wealthy.
Just for the public certification, I agree with what you said about New Jersey Transit. The reason that the minibuses are there and existing is because obviously New Jersey Transit over the years has failed in their mission for transportation in the state of New Jersey. By the time many of the buses coming up Palisade Avenue from Jersey City or vice versa going into Jersey City reach 10, 15 blocks in, it's standing room only on the buses. And New Jersey Transit refuses to add more because I guess there's a funding problem there. I've had multiple meetings. Unlike many others, I had multiple meetings with New Jersey Transit over the years, going back 6, 7 years. I've had about 5 meetings with the, lack of a better term, jitney bus drivers, small bus drivers, 200, 300 of them at the time, that really no one knows about except the drivers. In fact, Christine was at many of the meetings with me, trying to organize them because they wanted rules and regulations. Many of these are owned not individually, but by larger companies. And they put these guys out there in these buses. Many of them are just trying to earn a living. I see a lot of people distracted on their cell phone. It's not only jitney bus drivers. I see bus drivers in general. I see public employees. I see members of the public. Probably everybody in this room at one time or another has been guilty of talking on his cell phone while driving the car.
I don't have a cell phone.
Okay, that's good. I try.
It's
let me
different with a bus driver.
Let me just finish.
Yeah.
Let me just finish. I've worked extremely hard over the years to try to organize them and to try, but it's a federal issue. And I'm glad that it's come out in the forefront now that it is a federal issue. The federal government needs to act on this because there is no regulation. Gary Pollak can go out tomorrow, get a license, and put 50 buses on the road tomorrow. As we speak right now.
And the police should pull my buses. Over, every single one of them, every time I go out and inspect them and force me off the road.
And New Jersey Transit, not New Jersey Transit, DMV and everyone else should notify the bus companies, just like they do with New Jersey Transit, and say, you know what, Gary, you own 1 bus or you own 50 buses. We're going to be at your place tomorrow morning to do an inspection. That's the way it should be done. We shouldn't be inconveniencing people and make them get off a jitney bus also on Bergen Line Avenue when they're trying to get to work. We should go to the garages where these buses are kept, and we should inspect them there in a civilized, humane way. I've been saying this for years. When everybody else ducked the issue, I've been saying it for years. I've been meeting with these men and women who drive these buses, telling them, look, you can't cut each other off. You can't go around each other. I've been trying to, Gary. I've been doing it basically on my own out there. And many other agencies were invited and never showed up for the meetings. I won't get into who they were, but there were many other state and county agencies that refused to show up at the meetings.
The New Jersey Transit has to realize that this area's needs are different than the other suburban communities.
I agree.
People here don't have cars.
I agree.
Well, they do have cars, but not everybody in the suburbs has a car. They go to the supermarket. People here don't have a car.
And because we're urban, we shouldn't be treated as second-class citizens.
Right.
I'm with you 1,000%.
So let's be more aggressive.
Absolutely.
You, all the other mayors.
I agree.
Congressman Sears, let's get. There's only one solution. Those buses have to disappear.
Sure.
We can't have 2 different systems.
Sure.
It just does not work.
you might be interested in looking at, the county did a study a number of years ago, under, I think it was under the TPA, under the Board of Freeholders. They did a study on the jitney, for lack of a better term, the jitney bus operators. There was a study done on the jitney buses and what we can do to improve transportation. You might want to take a look at that. But you're right, it's something that all of us together, all the mayors, all the legislators, the county executive, the state, the federal government, everybody together really needs to address the issue on transportation in general. This is horrible what happened to this little girl. It's horrible, horrible.
I mean, you built the bridge between North Bergen and Union City over there by Schützen Park because somebody got killed. So there's got to be the same will for this.
I'm trying to build many bridges.
I'm John Heides with Hudson County TV. For more information, log on to HudsonCountyTV.com.